What is up? Today on the Implicit Show, it's Mastermind Friday. So we're going to be masterminded. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows who's going to show up? Who knows what's going to be said or who's going to make an ass of himself today? Tapping into the true potential of the human spirit. This is Humanity Empowered. This is the Implicit Show. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? I'm your host, Bren. It is a damn beautiful day here in Canada. I'm telling you, yesterday it was freezing. It was like -2 or something crazy. And today it's like 20 degrees. It's super nice. I got all my windows open, sun shining through. I'm feeling really good. And it's Friday, so we got the weekend coming up. Lots of people got fun stuff happening, including myself. I got a show tonight and I'm super excited for. And I'm excited for this show specifically because we got our man Bearj. Bearj, how you doing, man?
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up?
What is up, Bearj? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's been a rough couple of weeks. I was on the West Coast, got home. Been sick for almost the whole time I've been home, but the last couple of days I feel like I'm on the road to recovery. So that's all good, but it was nice to get some downtime and be able to say, I can own this downtime. I can sleep late today. It's okay because I need to feel better. So that almost kind of felt good, like a relief to say, I don't have to be doing these things today. I can chill a little bit.
Cool, man. Cool. You got to give yourself that chill time sometimes. I totally get it.
You do. And I'm really glad I did. Usually when I'm sick, I work through it. But this time I decided, you know what? I think this is one of those things where I need to rest. And I did. And I think it paid off.
Cool. Good news, man. How you doing, Sean? Sean, what are you up to, dude?
Man, I was doing really, really great. And then I hit a snag today, but I'm overcoming.
Overcoming. Well, man, it's the Mastermind Day today. So if you want a chance to talk about your snag, we could talk about your snag and we can mastermind about it. Hopefully it'll help you out a little. No?
That's kind of okay. So long story short, went to the bowling alley and got a chicken wrap. No tomato. I get home. I didn't check. Kind of in a hurry. Got to get things done. And I'm allergic to tomatoes really bad. And I bit directly into a tomato and almost went into shock. So my wife's searching for an EpiPen. Couldn't find an EpiPen. I had like a rescue inhaler because my throat was starting to close. And it was scary, man. I was so I'm good now.
Wow. Whoa, dude.
I really hate people who serve food and don't appreciate the allergies because that could have been really bad.
Yeah. Man, tomatoes are good though. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that allergy.
Yeah. Well, I can eat pizza. I can eat tomato sauce. I can eat like all that stuff. See, the thing is, it just goes to show when it goes through the manufacturing and the processing process, how the chemical makeup of the food changes. So like I can't eat fresh cut tomatoes. The acid inside the tomatoes I'm allergic to, but I can eat spaghetti sauce. I can eat pizza. I can eat, all that stuff. But if you can a tomato or any of that stuff, yeah, man, I can't do it. That's bad. So,
well, guys,
processed my way. I love tomatoes.
Yeah, but like the processed like tomato paste, and I mean sometimes I get like a upset stomach, but usually like pizza, marinara sauce, like jar sauce, it's all processed foods. Yeah, it doesn't bother me. I don't feel great after, but I mean it doesn't do it like I had a fresh cut tomato and I'm like like at the dinner table, my wife's freaking out because we don't have any EpiPens left.
Well, man, we're glad you're here. We're glad you
yeah, man.
You're here. You're alive. Survived.
Yeah.
Sean's win this week is he's alive.
That's a good win.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, it's the best win to have.
Perfect. So let's today's mastermind call. So Sean, you weren't here last week, and I think a lot of other people might not have been tuning in, but we'll give you a quick recap of what we've been doing. So
sure.
The whole idea from now on is the first 10 minutes of the talk, however 5-10 minutes, we're each going to get a chance to talk about our wins. So how you've been the past week? Where have you been succeeding? What have you been winning on? And then the next little bit, we're going to have a hot seat section. So each of us will have a chance on the hot seat to talk about, okay, where are you struggling right now? So you got your wins. Now, where are you struggling? Where could we help you? Or where do you maybe need advice or guidance or support? And then the last 10 minutes, we talk about, our goals for the next week. And so that's the theme. That's kind of the structure.
That.
Super easy, super structured. Yep. And simple, but it's going to be a great way for us to keep organized and to get lots of content in all at once. So let's go ahead. Let's go all the way around and talk about our wins. Bearj, do you want to talk about how you've been doing this week? Last week, you talked about starting on your book, Tell us how that went.
So I thought I was going to get better a little quicker than I did last week. So I still kind of struggled through that this past week, but I did get 5 chapters written, which was great. And I'm really happy about that I got that much done, even though I really felt like crap for most of the week. So I did that. But some other wins are I had a webinar on Tuesday night. 60 people signed up for the webinar.
Awesome. It was great.
And it's really interesting. 60 people signed up and 12 people got on.
Yeah.
It's whatever. People, right? I was there. It's all that. I was there. Rachel was there. We're good. I
appreciate it. Yeah. It's awesome.
Justin was there.
But I got to do it, and went through the system of running a webinar one time, and I recorded it, sent it out to everybody, and we'll see what comes of that, and that's okay. So that was a big win, and then the other win is for the past 2 weeks, I guess. My social media team has been deep diving with me to build my funnel, and going to start working on ads on Tuesday. And getting real definition of purpose for who my target will be for my high ticket item, which is awesome. And I'm really pumped about that. They're really, really good. So I'm pumped about that. That's another win.
Awesome.
Cool, man. Sean, what kind of wins you got this week?
Well, I mean, I was on the webinar with Bearj, which was great. A lot of notes. Yeah, man. Questions in the, I don't know if you saw it, but I swapped my public figure page to a services template. So I put like my services on there and all that stuff. And so I got to thinking, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to change it back to the standard view. Dude, I will tell you, when I went back to the standard view, the next day I had 3 new likes, people I didn't even meet, and then like another like the next day. And so this whole week I've got 10 new likes just by switching from a services page to a public figure page. I'm like, no way is it that simple. And I don't know. So thanks, Bearj.
Public figure page is the way you got to be. It's got to be.
Yeah. Right. Can't be a business. Can't be a services. Yeah.
Because people need to follow you. They follow people. And you're doing one thing now. In 10 years, you may be doing something else. It's important for them to follow you rather than what you're doing.
Absolutely. So another win is I had a meeting yesterday with a metals distribution company here in North Carolina. And I talked to the manager who manages 13 different locations. And I got booked to speak at their event April 6th in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Nice.
And tomorrow I'm driving down to Atlanta, Georgia to speak at a business expo. And I got booked at another place to speak. And that's going to be April 8th in Virginia. So this week I've gotten the Atlanta one I got booked last month. But this week I got booked twice to speak, both around the same time, April 6th, April 8th. But what did it was, remember before when we were talking, I was like, oh yeah, go to my website. It's sds.wix.com/this/this/this.
Yeah.
Bro, in the past 2 weeks, I've gotten over 20 new email subscribers on my list, and I've gotten booked 3 times, and I got a coaching client all in 2 weeks because I launched my site about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. And in that time, I've gained all that just by having thesuccesscore.com. And skyrocketed, bro. It's ridiculous.
The word success is big. That ranks really well, and having it be something that's easy for people to find.
Yes. And it's military related because being in, past 15 years being in the military is like the success core. I could turn it into a mastermind. I could turn it into a course. I could turn it into, I could be like, join the success core, So the name, just the name alone, fits so well with a bunch of other stuff. You know what I mean? Like I said, with masterminds and courses and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, man, super pumped. I can't believe how almost 10x everything's become. And then on Wednesday, I had an amazing interview with Tom Ziegler on my radio show. Tom Ziegler was on the show, and it was incredible. So yeah, blew up. It was awesome.
Boom, man. That's a lot of wins. Well,
Very cool.
the last time you were on here was 2 weeks ago, right? So that's super cool to hear.
Yeah. I had to work last Friday. I got pulled in for an emergency. So
making it happen, man. Making it happen. Wicked, man. So some of my wins, I finished my record somewhere. I think it was Monday. I got the first mix of it. So I got to listen to all week. I've been listening to it. I've been passing it around here and there to a few people. Just to kind of listen to it, see what kind of changes I want to make, get the whole vibe of the record. Also, I'm releasing a book to go along with my record, and that's been really tough for me to write. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned how tough it was for me to write this book. It's just different than anything else I'd written before. It's more of a personal approach, more about my story, my life, my perceptions, and less about, I write a book every month on a different topic, but usually the topic isn't me. And so I didn't realize how difficult it'd actually be to write a book about me. But I got a ton of progress on that done this week too. And also, I've been getting over my my anxiety of like making phone calls. So I used to I just hated making phone calls to book gigs, to contact people. I just don't like calling that much. But I got over that a lot this week, and I booked probably like 8 gigs just this week alone, 8 shows. So that's huge. It helps me out a lot. And what else kind of wins? Super happy. I smile a lot. That's
awesome, dude.
Got a haircut.
I cut my hair. I cut my own hair, so I didn't mess it up too bad, so whatever. Yeah. So those are some of my wins. That's about it.
Great.
Great.
That's cool, man.
Well, let's get this started. Let's get somebody on the hot seat here. Do any of you guys want to volunteer to get up and talk about some of the things that you're
Sean
working
has
on?
to go first because he almost died.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I need to I'm going to invent a product that eliminates tomatoes from the world.
That's it.
You know,
Boot him off of here.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. What am I struggling with? I'll tell you. And Bearj and I have talked a little bit about this. I don't know what it is, man. I even teach this, and sometimes I fall trapped to it, man. It's like I got this gig and I got this gig, and I'm speaking at this event, and everybody's like, "Man, you're so awesome!" Like, I sold a couple books. A guy called me today and said, "Hey, man, I got your book." But I'm looking at other stuff. Like I'm looking at Bearj's page, and I'm kind of seeing what he's doing. I'm like, okay, let me cut a model. See what he's got, see the tabs that he has. I'm looking at other people's websites. I'm constantly like trying to evolve, right? And then I lay in bed with my wife, and I just talked to her. And one of the things that I was telling her the other night was like, am I doing it right? Like, do people even care? I don't know. Is it, it's worth it to me, but if I didn't do it, would anybody care? She's like, I don't know. Not really that much help, but it's almost like I think I'm good enough. Like I feel like I'm good enough. People tell me I'm good enough. I believe that I'm good enough, but like your audio isn't matching your visual. And I want to believe that I'm good enough, but it's so, I guess what it stems from is I've been denied like 4 or 5 times from TED Talks. I got an email today like, hey, thank you for applying for this conference, but your talk wasn't selected. I get denied way more than I get booked. But my wife's like, dude, you got booked, so who cares? Like, you're going to get denied. Everybody gets denied at some point. I'm like, but what am I doing wrong that doesn't make me a 6-figure earner? What am I doing different?
So I have two answers, 2 responses. I shouldn't say they're not really answers. They're 2 responses. One is that in the beginning, you have to spin your wheels a lot harder to get going, right? You've probably read what the heck is that book called? I can't think of the name of the book, but talk about that big cement wheel that's on its side, and you've got to start turning it, and you push, and all of a sudden it moves just a little bit, and you gradually get it moving. It's really hard to get it moving until you get that momentum, and then it's easier and easier and easier until that thing's spinning so hard that to stop it is almost impossible. Right? So
yeah, that's true.
in the
I see
beginning,
that.
there are going to be a lot of times when you don't have a win, and that's probably going to be more often than not. And the reason isn't because you're not good; it's because you don't have the credibility yet. And how do you get the credibility? You get the credibility from those wins that you do get, from those talks that you do get, and you keep mounting them up and getting your testimonials, and keep improving your page and improving your website, and improving what you say and how you say it and the way you conduct your business, and it'll get better and better and better and better. The other part I want to say is this is something that I finally had a realization. I've been struggling for 3 years to get things going the way I wanted to. And I thought, this is getting ridiculous. This is why am I trying to do something big time, but I'm trying to do it in a small time way?
True. Yeah.
And that's when I decided I'm going to go get a big coach. I'm going to go get the biggest people for Facebook. I'm just going to go and do it and make it happen. They know how to make it happen. They know how to make
Right.
I believe in myself just the same way you believe in yourself. I believe that when I get on a stage, I can command the stage and I can deliver what I say I'm going to deliver and give people the content and the emotion and the transformation that they're looking for. I truly believe that, and from the experiences I've had, I know I've delivered that in the past.
Oh yeah, I've seen you. You're awesome.
So and you too. So I know I'll continue to do that in the future. The problem is I don't have the eyes and ears on me yet. So I need to put the eyes and ears on me. And by doing that, then that's when things start to get better. And I think that's where your struggle is too, where you're in a very similar place to me, Tom, where you need to get those eyes and ears on you, and doing these one-off little things all over the place. They're nice, but the reality is they're not going to turn into a big payoff. I kept thinking I've got to eventually get in front of somebody who says, wow, this guy's good, and I'm going to bring him to this big place.
Right.
But the likelihood of that happening in these small places is really slim. So we've got to put ourselves out there to get on bigger stages. And that's the reason I'm doing what I'm doing on Facebook, because that's going to give me that big funnel to get me more eyes. And that's why I'm working with my marketing coach, because he knows how to not just give me more eyes, but also make me look as if I've done much more than I already have.
Right.
So people feel comfortable hiring me. I feel comfortable with them hiring me because I know I can deliver. I need them to feel comfortable.
Yeah. Have you read the book 3 Feet from Gold by Greg Reed?
No, I haven't, but I know what book you're talking about.
Okay. Greg Reed agreed to be on my show in May.
Awesome.
The first Wednesday in May. So I'm like, you know what I mean? So I know exactly what you mean. Like, I had Tom Ziegler on the show, and then, other things are starting to materialize because they're like, so he's got that guy. Okay. So now, like, this is no joke. You know what I mean? I don't know. I guess that's how I internalize it, but yeah. Thanks, man.
Cool.
Yeah. I think it comes down to getting yourself out there in bigger ways.
Yeah. What's up, Chris?
How's it going, guys?
It's my buddy Chris. I don't know if you guys met Chris.
Chris and I have chatted a little bit through Messenger a few times.
Yeah, Chris is awesome. High energy, highly motivated.
What's going on, Chris?
Hey, not too much. Sorry, I was a little bit late there. As you can tell, I'm in my truck. I was just finished that. I was visiting a close friend in the hospital there. So, but hey, so whose feed are we on Facebook Live right now?
Bren.
Okay. Do you guys all share it on your own thing as well?
He does.
Okay.
Yeah, I usually do it. I didn't do it yet today.
Can somebody share on my thing just so people can tune in live?
He tagged you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So Chris, what we're talking about right now is we're doing a mastermind talk here. So we each had a chance for the first 10 minutes to talk about where we're succeeding in life, where we're doing well. And then now we each have a chance on the hot seat to talk about maybe where we're not succeeding so much. And then that's where we get to help each other out. So right now we're just helping Sean. Sean said, you know, he's dealing with a lot of doubts with what he's doing. You know, he's putting in a lot of work. He's not necessarily seeing all the rewards right away. And so that leads to doubt a lot of times. And Bearj had some great things to say about that. You know, you just gotta go for it. Right. And I mean, if you look in Bearj's background, this is what came to mind. He's got this baseball picture in the background, Bearj. And the first thing I thought of when Sean was talking was Babe Ruth. You know, Babe Ruth hit more home runs than any other baseball player, but he also missed more shots than any other baseball player. And so you're going to get denied. You're going to get, you know, people are going to say no. You're going to get told you're crappy or you're not good enough or whatever it is by some people. But when I look at all the people who really succeed, those are the people who get rejected and then they laugh. They laugh in rejection space and they keep going. And that kind of not motivation, that's confidence really. And that confidence comes from knowing, like Bearj said, you know I'm putting in the work. I know I'm doing what it takes. I know that what I'm doing right now will, you know, result in something. And so that confidence comes from putting in the work oftentimes. And I think, Sean, you're doing that. And so, you know, just sometimes you just got to take some time to say like, oh, good job, man. Good job.
Yeah, I definitely don't do that. I don't do that. I'm like, yep, got it. Win next. You know, I don't savor the win. You know, I'm like, on to the next one, you know?
That's a really important thing to do though, Sean, is to, you know, when you have a win like that, when you just got 2 speaking gigs. So, you know, you and your wife should go out to dinner, let's say, right? And, or you bring home.
I brought us some flowers today.
Yeah. Stuff like that. But just to celebrate the win and you've got to celebrate those things, right? If you constantly put off that celebration, then along the journey, you're not really gaining anything, right? What's the point of it if you're not ever celebrating it?
Yeah.
You know, another thing I'll say about that too is the fact that, you know, it depends. Like if you're involved in the work that you honestly love, and you got to think of it this way, you got to enjoy every day for the simple fact that, you know, I would do this work regardless if I got paid. That's how you know you're in the right place. And the other thing is that, you know, even if you don't have the, you know, the big wins right off the start, it's the people that stick with it for the long haul that are going to end up winning, because there's a ton of people out there with the world, but they, you know, but they give up. You know, even if you don't have the talent, but you have the ambition, you're the one that's going to succeed to the top no matter what. And I know you mentioned Tom Ziegler. That's like Zig Ziglar said, you know, like, see you at the top. That's the way it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So is there anything else on your mind, Sean?
No, man. Who's next? Who's on the hot seat? I want to play Dr. Phil today.
Well, before we go get finished with Sean, I'm going to ask him a question.
Okay.
So what differently do you want to do moving forward to solve that feeling that you get, to get rid of that feeling or to suppress it some more?
So what I did today and a couple days ago, you know, when I got the TED thing that said, you know, hey, you weren't picked or whatever, I was like, usually I'm like, dang, man. And then I just, you know, delete the email and I'm like, sucks. So last, you know, a couple days ago, and then today I emailed them back, was like, thank you. I completely understand. Thank you for considering me. Could you give me any feedback on my proposal or, you know, not really a why, like, why did you pick me? But like, can you give me any feedback on how I can better submit, you know, whatever. Cause I figure I'm like, you know what, growing opportunity. Cause usually I just get pissed off. I'm like, whatever, dude, delete, you know what I mean? And so now I just ask for feedback. Hey, how did, you know, how can I submit a better proposal or how can I change my proposal or, you know, whatever. So that's what I did. And then I look at my proposal. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll change this or tweak this, or because I can't keep sending in the same things and keep getting denied. Something's got to change. So tweak something here.
What's the response?
They haven't responded back yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know,
but I had a great meeting yesterday. So, and I changed kind of my approach and I got hired. yesterday. So, and he paid up front. He's like, dude, I really want to hire you and I'll pay you now. I'm like, all right, here's your contract. Yeah, so.
No, I was thinking when you're talking about that, when you're getting these emails with the no's and what your response could or should be. And I was thinking maybe a way you could respond to yourself is, oh, that's too bad because the next time you go to hire me, it's going to be more expensive.
Yeah.
You're not
awesome.
getting the hometown. Now you just lost out on the hometown discount.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That's one way to think about it. Love it.
That's awesome. That's mindset, baby. That's mindset.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. So is there anybody else who wants to take a few minutes on the hot seat? We only have so much time here to go on, but yeah. Who else has been working on stuff? Any
Chris,
volunteers?
We'll indoctrinate you.
Yeah, man.
Try by fire on the hot seat.
Sure. So are we talking about like some recent successes, or are we talking about some recent struggles?
You know what? I'd love to know both. Tell us a little bit about where you've been succeeding, and then maybe one of the areas that you could use some support in.
Yeah, so I literally just got started sort of in this online space and sort of the coaching world and all that kind of stuff, and actually it's crazy because I kind of feel like I'm still on the runway. I'm going real fast, but I'm still on the runway. And one of the biggest things for me is doing daily live videos, and it's crazy. It's crazy how different it is from like I started twice a week and now I'm doing it like every day. And the response that I'm getting from people is absolutely phenomenal, like through the roof. And not even that, like, I mean, just the skill development part of it is massive. But of course, at the same time, there's kind of that, you got to sort of materialize and monetize it in the same thing right now too. But it's that technology. Like I'm building some online courses. So it's just a matter of, I think, being patient. And like I mentioned too, for the long haul, because I don't know if you guys know, shout out to Bob, but he started doing live videos because he was doing network marketing, and then his company that he's working for shut down, and he started from scratch and he started doing live videos. He said it wasn't until 6 months straight of doing live videos that he made a single dollar. He did a webinar and he made $100,000 in his first webinar. That's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me thinking. It's like, you know what, the long haul, you gotta focus on just doing the right things on a regular basis and enjoying the process. That's kind of what I'm going through right now. And then obviously, you gotta keep whatever's feeding you, you got to keep that going too. But I mean, focus on your dream and putting good content out there. What I'm going through, I guess.
Grant Cardone said he had 5 people at his first event he ever did. 5. And it didn't stop him. He gave him energy, passion, at his 5 people. He inspired 5 people,
Yeah. So Chris, what are one of the what kind of barriers do you find yourself running into? I mean, you said you're doing live videos, so you're getting yourself to follow through on a daily basis. Is there anything holding you back at all from doing anything else, or?
Well, definitely the technology aspect, as far as, building my course, as far as, I guess, sorry, what's the question about what am I kind of struggling with right now, or some challenges that I'm having, or how?
Yes.
I don't understand the question.
Yeah, well, what I'm understanding from you is you're trying to build a brand, you're trying to build yourself, build up authority in the coaching industry. So you want to be known as somebody who's influential, somebody who can help people, inspire people. And one of the ways you're doing that is through daily live video, and you're also building some courses and stuff on the side as well, right? So is there anything right now that you're struggling with that's just not working, or something that we could help you with in one way or another?
I think big thing for me is like I have little breakthroughs, but it's just being more vulnerable and sharing my personality a little bit more, because I think that when you start doing that, that's when people really buy into just you being the real you. And I've been guarded for a long time, and I'm just starting to share more and more, and that's something that it's a struggle, but it's progress. So like Brendan Burchard says, honor the struggle, right? So it's just a matter of sharing a little bit more each time, and then you'll have big breakthroughs too. So I would say that's something that's kind of letting out, being vulnerable, your personality a little bit more and more.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys can relate to that. But.
Yeah, one of the ways I do this, Chris, I feel like I'm on Facebook Live 5 days a week, and pretty much every single day of the week, I share something that I'm vulnerable about. And it's funny because I get family members who are like, "What, you said that on the podcast? Why would you talk about that? You don't want to let people know your weaknesses. You don't want to let people know where you're struggling, that kind of stuff." But for me, it's been completely. It's not only good for your brand to like connect with people, and that way they have a better connection with you, but it's good for yourself, because I think if you're going to be successful at anything, there needs to be a certain level of, I don't give a shit about what anybody thinks. There needs to be a certain level of that. And so part of that comes from just telling people the way it is, telling them your true thoughts, your true beliefs, who you really are. And through doing that, man, you'll connect with people on a whole other level, because I mean, some people you'll completely turn off. They'll be like, whoa, like this guy's, I don't want nothing to do with this guy. Right. But other people, by being your authentic self and being vulnerable and talking more about yourself, your personality, your life, you'll connect with people on a whole other level. You'll connect with the right people. I mean, I look at different vloggers, and these vloggers, they literally, their job isn't, okay, I'm going to pass on strategies, techniques, tools, I'm going to teach people. No, their whole thing is, I'm just going to share my life. I'm just going to film everything. I'm going to document my day to day. And these vloggers, these people have a better connection. They have some of the best connections with their audiences ever, like better than celebrities, better than, sports athletes, championship athletes, because they're connecting with their people on a daily basis. And I think if what you want to do, if you're getting into this coaching industry or whatever it is that you want to do, personal development, right? A big part of that is connecting with people. And if you could connect with people on the right way, and give your authentic true self, then like you've won the game. And that's all I really have to say to that.
It's like reality television.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People love that shit.
The best thing I heard when I was becoming a speaker, they said, be authentic, genuine, and transparent, and you will transform lives.
Boom.
Interesting. And it's valuable to people too, right? Because, I mean, there's so many people out there that are fake, right?
And there's so many people out there who feel alone. Do you know what I mean? They feel like, and when they see somebody online, it's like, oh my gosh, like that guy thinks just like I think, or that guy makes, mistakes just like I do. That guy's struggling in the same area that I'm struggling in. And so you connect with people in that way. And that it helps them to realize like they're not the only one who messes up sometimes. Right. And that's why this whole show, Fridays, the whole point here is we're all here talking about ourselves. I'm not giving you I'm not here to talk about strategy or to give you some inspirational speech or story. I'm here to talk about myself and where I'm struggling. So maybe you'll be able to connect. Maybe something will pop out at you and it'll help people, right? So
yeah. Well, see, but keep in mind too that, this is just my personal opinion. I think that if you're going to share something that's deep, you got to kind of be from that space that, I've got strength out of it, because I mean too, I don't think it should be a total sob story and stuff like that either. It should be like, hey, this was tough and I learned from it and here's where I am,
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what people want to hear. They don't want to just hear that you're struggling. No one wants to hear that all the time. They want to hear you're struggling. Here's how I overcame it. Here's how I'm fighting it. Or you know what? Today was a sucky day. But tomorrow's another day. And tomorrow I'm gonna go get up and kick butt. I struggled all day today. That's just how it was. And you're gonna have those same kind of days. And I've had those days in the past. And as great as tomorrow's gonna be, I'm gonna have another one of these days someday. And that's okay. That's how it is. But we just have to pick ourselves up, dust everything off, and keep moving forward.
Yeah, for sure.
But isn't it great that first video you do that you didn't think that you could originally do, or that first speaking event that you have, all those breakthroughs, that you got to enjoy that,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I really believe you're doing, if you're getting on Facebook Live every day and you're trying to put on this facade that you have this great life, or that, you're on this path and you're constantly growing and everything's going perfect all the time, you're doing everybody a disservice. right? If you don't tell people, okay, I'm having a bad day, or okay, I'm struggling, but that's fine because I'm going to keep going, or I'm going to keep on working through it. And if you try to tell people, oh yeah, no, I got it all figured out. Look at me. I got this strategy and that strategy, and I never fail. I never get sad. I'm always happy, whatever. You're doing people a serious disservice, because then, and yourself too, because you're putting on something that's fake. You're putting something out there that's fake, and it's eliminating any kind of good that you're doing. If because I know the good you're trying to do, right? You're trying to help people. That nobody gets into this industry, I think, for themselves. I mean, some people maybe, but I know a lot of people, it has to do with, look, I want to help people. I want somebody to get inspired by my life and what I'm doing, right?
And you know what, Bren? We've been talking all this time, and there have been a few comments in the comment section with people saying hi and stuff like that. But as soon as we talked about this in the last 5 minutes, Julie writes, we are all the same. Our struggles are the same. We can learn from and teach one another. So that touched somebody right there. It touched Julie immediately as soon as we started talking about those things, because people identify, yes, that's true, or I felt that way, or we're all the same, and that's where we connect with people. So you're hitting the nail directly on the head, Chris.
Yeah, and it's just like this too. Like, but you got to be committed, because there's so many people that sort of wishy-washy here and there, and they don't ever end up being something or doing anything with it. That's the reason why I think that if you commit, especially when you start sharing, what's going on with you, you start telling people that. Now you've got, hundreds and potentially thousands of people that are keeping you accountable. So I think it kind of works for you, I guess, and against you too, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's all the mindset you take going into it, really.
Totally.
Is there anything else on your mind, Chris?
I don't know, man. I'm excited to be here, be honest. I think this is great.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Bear's just poking fun at me, I guess. Jesus.
I don't know.
You know what, dude?
I want to know a boot.
It's all right there.
That's what I want to know.
It's right there. I got it all right there.
Oh man,
Don't worry about it.
Chris, you're Canadian, right? You're Canadian, right? We got a couple anti-Canadians on the call here.
I want to know a boot. I have two of those.
That wasn't what I said. Had nothing to do with Canadian. It was all Bren Dubé.
Oh, okay.
You betcha. You betcha, buddy.
Welcome.
Yeah,
Get out of here, guys. Okay, well, we got to end this show. But before we end it, I want to know, next week, we're getting back on here next week. I want to know what everybody's committed to doing for the next week, right? Based on this conversation, we can't just get on here and talk. We got to make commitments. We got to do something. So, I'll start with myself, I guess. By this time next week, I want to have my book finished. So the first draft, at least, of the book's got to be done. I'm not sure if I said I'd get that done last week or what, but last week, my main focus has just been the music itself. So the music's reached a certain point. Now it's the book. I got to get the book out, and I really got to start marketing and promoting the release of my new record. So that's the only thing I'm focused on this week. How about you guys? Bearj, what you got?
So my focus this week is recording of some more chapters of my book. So my target is 2 weeks to have it done. So I really would like to see if I can get it done in 1 week, but I think reasonable would be 15 chapters by by next Friday.
Boom. 15 chapters by end of next Friday. Chris, man, you got any commitments you want to commit to by next week?
Yeah, man. Actually, it's funny because I do these live videos, and it actually gets me pumped up and excited. And I think, man, I would go live 5 times a day if I could. But the fact is, why don't I just commit to the fact that, hey, I've already got this habit for live videos. Let's do recorded videos, do another 1 or 2, back to back behind that to add to the course.
Very cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sean, what you got going on by next week, man?
So I was just looking at my calendar, and I've got a couple things, man. I got an event on March 31st that I'm putting together on the Air Force Base. It's called Storytellers. And the Storytellers thing, the initiative is everyone has a story. So there's 300 and some odd thousand people that serve in the Air Force every day. What if you could get into their heads? What if you could get into their lives and see life through their eyes? And so I'm putting on an event, and we're going to have 3 speakers that are Air Force airmen that are stationed here in North Carolina, and they're going to tell their story about overcoming obstacles and suicides and deployments, and kind of talk about things that they've struggled with and how they've overcome and whatever. And then my buddy Lane Etheridge from Raleigh, Lane Etheridge, multi-time best-selling author, international speaker, studied with Les Brown and Greg Reed and him. So he lives in Raleigh now. He's going to be the guest speaker at the end. And so he's going to talk about shifting gears and shifting your life. And, if something's not working, man, you got to change it quick. So I've been working on this thing for forever, like trying to get this thing going. So we're going to have our first event March 31st on the Air Force Base, and I'm going to stream it Facebook Live through and I just set this up today. I'm going to stream it live through a Facebook page that is connected to all the other Air Force bases in the Air Force. And so I'm gonna see how this works. I don't know how I'm gonna epically fail this. Like if this doesn't work, man, it's gonna be a disaster. But if it does, it's gonna be completely awesome. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. And then I gotta start applying more places. I've kind of slowed down. I used to do 3 times a week, 4 times a week, or something like that. I think I've done maybe twice this whole week. You know what I mean? I used to do at least 4. You know what I mean? I gotta apply, I gotta prospect. And I've been like, man, it feels like a chore. You know what I mean?
So how many times
get booked?
How many times,
twice.
Sean, are you gonna apply next week? How many times? What am I committing to? I'm writing this shit
times.
down, man. 5 times?
5 times.
Boom. Okay, I'm
5.
writing it down.
I'm
Apply
to 5. 1 time each day, or
times.
So 5 times. So
okay, perfect. Well, I gotta stop this, guys. I know we could talk all day. I know we keep going, but I gotta end this. All right. So thanks, you guys. Thanks, Bearj, Chris, Sean, everybody for hopping on the call. Thank you, Julie and Rachel and all the people on Twitch and everything. Thank you, everybody for engaging in the conversation, for doing this kind of thing. And make sure you share this if there's anything that stuck out at you or something that you think might serve a family member or a friend. Make sure you share this with them. And there's links for everybody's page: Bearj, Chris, Sean, and myself. There's links all on the description of this video, so you could go check those guys out, check myself out. And if you want to support what we're doing at Patreon, go to implicit.com or patreon.com/implicit. And that's it. All right, everybody. Anybody got any last words? You guys just got peace signs. Oh, we got peace signs. Peace signs. Peace signs. Love it. Peace.